Managing the water withdrawals, this goes back to the Q710 that we talked about earlier. The withdrawals must be approved by state and federal regulators, and they're limited to the Q710 from any stream. Q710 is the lowest average consecutive 7-day flow that would occur with a recurrence interval of 1 in 10 years. A 10-year flow event has a 10% chance of occurring every year. The resulting water from normal flow conditions is a fraction of a percent, and these withdrawals can be suspended if conditions for some reason warrant. This is a kind of a comparison. We'll see a little bit easier and what it means to the absolute stream flow. Right there is your average daily flow. Here's your Q710 down here, right here, and then this is the 10%, which is what is allowable to be flowed. So it's a very small portion of what the stream can actually carry. Hydraulic fracturing is a huge issue. You've heard a lot of words about that. 90% of what goes into the wall, into the frac job is water, fresh water. Sand is 9.95%, and 0.5% are the chemicals that are used. Here is a list of just some of the chemicals. What we've done is we've given the information over to DEP. You can actually pick up the DEP website, all the information on all the chemicals that can be used in frac jobs in Pennsylvania. Just kind of give you an idea of some of the concentrations, because I think people hear some of these things and are concerned about, what kind of an impact this may have on them. Pick a few out of here, like iron control. We're using citric acid. It prevents precipitation of metal oxides. It's found in food additives, food, beverages, and lemon juice is 7% citric acid. Concentrations, pounds of this material per pound of water is 0.0035 pounds per pound of water. We're talking there as a concentration in parts per million of 18.50. So we're talking about some very small concentrations of the chemicals that are in here. And incidentally, if you were out here earlier, we do have some of the frac sheets that explains a lot about the hydraulic fracturing and the chemicals that are used. So I think that'll be very useful to you. This letter is from DEP. It went to the Groundwater Protection Council in Oklahoma. And it's, I'm not sure how well you can read this, but one part of it I wanted to share with you. And this is from Joseph J. Lee, who is Chief of Source Protection Section of Division of Water Use Planning for the Department of Environmental Protection. It says, after review of DEP's complaint database and interviews with regional staff that investigate groundwater contamination related to oil and gas activities, no groundwater pollution or disruption of underground sources of drinking water has been attributed to hydraulic fracturing of deep gas formations. I will tell you that if you look on the Interstate Oil and Gas Compact Commission website, you'll see basically the same thing. IOGCC, Interstate Oil and Gas Compact Commission, is the organization of all the state regulatory agencies that are regulating oil and gas throughout the country. And there's, I didn't realize we had this here, but there's a blow up of that, what I just read to you. Local road agreements. One of the big concerns, and it's a legitimate concern that people have, is what is the impact on your roads? We are going to be taking many, many loads of heavy equipment across roads that normally were designed to do nothing more than an occasional milk truck and school bus. They're not designed for the kind of traffic we're going to be putting on them. So we're going to be doing, in many cases, we're going to be doing pre-drilling road improvements if it's needed. We'll be making minor repairs, temporary repairs during the drilling process. Following that, we have to improve those road conditions after the drilling is done to meet the requirements of each township and county. Now, we cannot simply return these roads into the condition they were before we got there. As I said earlier, we're going to be working in these fields for decades. Our equipment's going to be running over this, and we can't afford to continue to repair and replace the same road over and over again. So the end result is you're going to find that most of the roads that we deal with are going to have to be upgraded from what they were originally to meet not only your needs, but our needs. So I think in the long run, you're going to find that highway systems in Pennsylvania, the rural highway systems, are going to benefit from this. That pretty much concludes our talk.